one child escapes. And the children are the greatest escapers. Imagine one of the child escapes and jumps into the pool. And hanging by the net. Think about that. Imagine one day you're coming out and you see one of them holding the glass and on the other side. You see the reality of what I'm saying? Let's see what I was saying. I have to stop because it's too much. Oh, I said 9 o'clock, right? Did I say 9 o'clock? We didn't say it. Oh, we didn't say it. Alright, we'll finish at 9, I guarantee you. So the talk of breaking it down, preschool, elementary, whatever, the wins. What are the things that wins? Where there's, when you have an environment where it's welcoming and appealing to new families, when you have the adult-child ratio that is appropriate, when you have team members that are engaged with the kids, when kids are engaged in the learning, teams following a curriculum plan, music is worshipful, fun, and age-appropriate. I mean, you don't want to have a rock song for the children who are with the infants. Can you imagine them? They're looking at but just say your style. Mr. Noah built them up. That becomes more, it's like a horror song, but anyway. Rooms are clean, well maintained. Take-home pieces go with parents. In other words, they get stuff. Drop-off, pick-up process is quick, safe, and efficient. See, right now, we are so comfortable. You come in there, you walk down here. Even they don't even want to go in the children's room because they said it's too filthy. It's too dirty. Who made it dirty? The children. We are going to be downstairs, Pastor Kevin. People will come. Then the children can't be there. They're down. That means somebody needs to register them, bring them in here. There has to look at the logistics to that. These are all the things that then parents will come back again with their children. If they don't see it working like that, they won't come. And the truth be told, most parents, when they bring their children, some of them just want to escape. Do you know what I'm saying? Some churches, they have on the board, will the parent of so-and-so please come? And the parents don't respond. The husband and wife are sitting there, and the husband is saying to the wife, you go. She's saying, you go. No. They're going on and on and on. Listen to this. It's a true story. In this church, they've got the name, and nobody is responding. Guess what they do eventually? Will the parent of this child, they put the picture up. See, kids will always bring their friends to church if it is comfortable, safe for them. When you have all of these things in place, teacher retention goes up. In other words, the teaching staff increases because they love it. But when you don't, in other words, when you don't have enough teachers, and this is what they talk about burnout. You get tired faster, and people can't handle it. And some people just can't manage it. So you want to increase your teacher capacity. Some of the teachers get frustrated when they leave because the children are not listening. It has happened, not you, but it has happened. Right? They can't handle it. Then you don't see them next week. When you honor, understand that you're honoring your team. You're also building your team. Parent confidence increases. Parents feel comfortable. They can leave their children, go sit in the service and enjoy the word without the disturbances. And not besides the disturbances, but knowing that their children are taken care of. They feel safe. Isn't that a big concern for children right now? There are some legal things that we have to talk about as well, as far as child and teacher and all that. That comes later.
Yeah.
The children enjoy the experience more and more. Children experience stresses when they're in a room that is crowded. They go in there and look at, and they want to run out. I'll give you my 3 girls, all 3. Well, even moved to a certain extent when they had to go to this big church for the first time with all the. When they came to Durban, they just filled in. She said, "You remember, Pastor Kim?" It was like, wow, so easy. They go to this big church. For a few weeks, they refused to go because it was too many children. And that's the unfortunate, because you have so many children and they don't know that they didn't know that when you go, then the class is going to get broken up into groups, right? But even then, they still have too many children with their
20 kids.
So it took time. Simone had to go with one, or Yako had to go with one, or Camille had to go back with Wolf. Now, if you just leave Wolf, he's gone. Bye. Or you say, Dewey, they're gone. Now they run. As soon as they know, oh, it's time for the children, they're gone. But we can remember for a period, they didn't move, they just sat there. Even Kimberly, as big as Kimberly was. Children experience stress when they're in crowded situations where there is a lack of toys, personal attention, and personal space for playing. Proper ratios help children relax, have fun, and learn. And I think I have the last point. I can go through it fast. Promise is a promise. Evaluating the ministry. Evaluation of the ministry. A continual evaluation is vital to sustaining a strong ministry foundation. So when you think about it, we talk about what is it that's going to help us to be winners, to be the champions. What is it? What will it take? So you create a checklist from what are the positives, what are the negatives. Okay, that everybody has to answer. I'm sure when you're sitting together, Patricia was sitting with you, or maybe today was sitting with his team, they're looking at these things. What are the pros? What are the cons? What are the things that are causing us to win? What are the things that's the failures? We're looking at it. It gives you a good idea to occasionally even have somebody from the outside to evaluate what's going on in the inside. Ask somebody to look and tell us, because maybe sometimes we don't see everything that we should. A fresh set of eyes always let you see new things. Then allow for discussion with your team. Is this working? Is that working? What do we do, or what can we do? Ask questions such as, what's working well? What's not working well? What's missing? What's confusing? What can we do to improve? Finally, be willing to change things or tweak things. Always look for ways to change your program and make it better. Just think, if each week, think about this, if each week there is one thing that you can tweak, in 52 weeks, you change 52 things. If there's one thing you can do, because we always, somebody said, the only thing that is constant is change. And we must not be afraid to change. Build a strong relationship with the church at large. I know that we don't have much of a problem here, but in some circles, it's like the children's ministry is separate, the youth is separate. I know growing up, I don't know about you, but growing up, youth ministry was looked at that rebellious group. The church elders were like, they looked down on you. Nobody's saying anything yet. So We do things as one. Okay? So, understand that we as a church, we function together as one. It's just a part of this. Unity within the church is a foundational success for any ministry. So here are some pointers. I say some pointers to build a strong relationship with the church body. Build strong relationships through collaboration. In other words, the children's ministry just don't do their own thing. We do things as one. Rather than being a silo where you're separated from the other areas of the church. In other words, there may be youth ministry, there may be women's ministry, there may be men's ministry, there may be worship ministry, but we work together. Think of this, even like Auntie Julie coming to help teach music. How important as a tool that is. You need that. That's the worship. She's in charge of the worship ministry. Well, don't come in here because this is a children's ministry. You keep your stuff there. Can we function like that? Then the worship ministry needs to do a song and they need the children's voice. Where are they going to go? The Liberty Church down. So we collaborate. I wrote this here. We are one body. We have one Lord, one shepherd. We function as one. Build strong relationships with each other. Build strong relationships through feedback. Invite feedback from the church leadership. Invite feedback from the parents. Invite feedback from, say, when you do that, then you stay humble, you're teachable, that you're willing to learn and grow. Great leaders are always growing and will always be growing. Build strong relationships through communication. Communication, informing all in time. Provide regular support to your church leadership. This we don't have, but maybe we need to introduce it. Share progress and praise reports. Share challenges too. Share what is the things that are challenging. But when you have challenges, come to the church leadership with possible solutions. Fortunately, your leader is with the church leadership, so we get behaved anyway. But in some circles, the leader is not part of the leadership. But you need that mix. A great ministry brings challenges and possible solutions together to the church leadership. Build strong relationships through trust. When an issue arises, you must trust those that are in leadership to help resolve it. Always fill the gap with trust where you don't know. Don't assume the worst, assume the best, and assume the best motives out of that. Establish these principles into the foundation of any ministry, and it will stand tall, straight. It will impact children, youth, and families altogether. Amen? Amen. 9:1. Any questions? Did you get something out of it? Now, there are more lessons to this. I may not take every aspect that they put in there because some things may apply to us, some things may not apply to us. But there are so many great principles to work through in this program. So, I talked about today's strong foundation, then ministry that reaches every child, how kids grow spiritually, authentic leadership, recruiting a strong team, reaching families, so the outreach part, reaching families through children and youth ministry, and then also the children of